Everybody, Box Seats is the name of the show. My name is Frank Holder. This is the show we talk about sports with comedians. Let me bring in my man T. What's up, T? How you doing, sir?
Peace to the gods, brother. How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Gotta look like I
You
got
look,
to clean off my camera
I'm
here.
about to say you look a little fuzzy over there. What you been doing?
Yeah, that looks.
Hey, listen, keep this away from the lens. You dirty little rascal.
Hilarious. My man Mike Shaw is also in the building. Mike, what's happening, man?
What's good, fellas?
How y'all doing? First of all,
Hold on,
how's everything? How's everything, sister?
Everything's good. But see, Talent, because he got them killer dogs. I had to bring my killer dog. And whatever smoke you want, anytime on a block, any back block, any alley, right here.
Hey, Mike, you barking up the wrong tree. That dog needs to fight mice. You should start a new thing, like get a mice dog ring.
Don't listen to that. Don't listen to that. Don't let him do that to you. Don't let him do that to you. No, that's Uncle Talent. He's really a nice guy. Don't go get out of here. Go.
Like how y'all got on matching shirts.
Exactly.
Nice. That's nice. I give you that. You won.
It's fair to say things look back great in the Michael Sean household. He walking around with shirts that match his dog.
Things are getting back to normal for Mike.
Things are getting back to normal. Things are all right now.
Mike got visitation of the puppy again. Hold on, he fucking look what happened. Congratulations, Mike.
I appreciate y'all. Welcome back, Frank. Welcome back.
Thank you.
All right, welcome back, homie.
Yeah.
We didn't really talk about sports.
Getting it done. Frank been out there getting the job done.
I saw
the
crib.
Yeah, man. Trying to do that, trying to do brown sugar Sundays, trying to just trying to juggle a whole lot of things, man. It's you guys know it's crazy. You know how it goes. But let's get ready to jump into it, man. And first things first, let me get the guys up to normal and tee you up first as usual. While I was away, I heard that Cincinnati Bengals running back Joe Mixon had an arrest warrant out for him for a complaint of aggravated menacing. Seems like he looked like he pointed a gun at his girl. Like I was like, whoa, and he got arrested for that. So the season's over for him and everything else. He could find himself in some serious hot water. Should the Bengals cut him, man? But Joe Mixon is, he is their centerpiece of their running game and everything else. But people are really up in arms about this. T, what do you think? How do you think they should handle this, man?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think here's the thing. Let's look at his track record. You know what I mean? In the sports, we got to look at it the same way they would out here in the regular criminal world. Like, you got to give some leeway if it's somebody's first offense. If they never did nothing crazy before, slap on the wrist. There's so many things you can do here without releasing or firing somebody, whatever the case may be. A gun is a serious thing. So that might be a long fine and suspension or whatever for violating the code of conduct and all that. But like to end somebody like that, I would look at the track record. I don't know his track record, but I would look at that first before I could come with a full assumption of how we end this thing off.
Right. But I will say this, Mike. The problem is that we're in the Me Too movement era and everything else. He did have a gun, everything else. He did point at his girl. People are going to be up. Everything T said is right, though. You know what I mean? Like everything T said, he said it wrong. What you take on this, Mike?
There's a problem. When the Cincinnati Bengals drafted him, he already had a video of punching a girl in the face at a cafe.
Right.
And they overlooked it. Then they drafted him anyway.
Yeah.
Now, Talent is right. If this is his first offense in the NFL, the problem the Bengals are going to have now is that you drafted him and you overlooked. And it was a combination. I'm not being funny. It was a combination of punches that he threw at this girl.
Mm-hmm.
And they overlooked that. And now you allegedly, and let's use the word allegedly, you allegedly pointed a gun at somebody. We got to find out through the court system and what we have, what goes on. This is a big problem now because that video is going to surface at some point. That video is going to hit the internet again. It already did back in the day when he was there. It's going to hit again, and the Bengals are going to be under a lot of pressure. I don't wish firing on anybody, but also if you really pointed a gun at somebody, there's a bigger problem than football with you, homie.
It really is. Let me say hi to all the people who always supporting us, man. From looks like everybody. Everybody look like they in, from Renee to Alfreda to Trina. I'm not sure if my man Rich is in the building, in the mirror. That, like, thank you all for always supporting us, man. We greatly appreciate you. Let me jump up here right now. There was Tom Brady news that happened while I was away. I want to talk about the NBA, but before I jump into the NBA and talk about the NBA, let me just ask you this, man, because I saw this last night, literally while I was traveling. Should Tom Brady retire a New England Patriot? Should he retire, sign that one-day contract, and come back to Sire as a New England Patriot or not? Because everybody's up in arms up in New England about Tom Brady retiring, coming in, signing that one-day contract and then retiring as a New England Patriot. There's a lot of people who don't think he will do it because the way he was treated on his way out. What's your take, T? Do you think he should? People say, "Yo, Kareem didn't do it. Jordan didn't do it." I mean, they're going down a list of people who had to be, that they were unceremoniously, catered out the door real quickly with their team that they had a whole lot of accomplishments with, and none of these big name guys did it. In your opinion, T, do you think Tom Brady should break the mold or stick with the mold?
Well, it's going to come down to Frank, two things. One, how bad it was when you left. Was that ever mended or whatever have you? And really, the ultimate thing is, how many F's do you give about legacy and history? Now, if you care about history panning out a certain way and making it look a certain way, you absolutely go back, do that. It's good for the history. History right now, we live in it, so it won't affect us the way it will in historical terms. But some of these players and athletes, they really, really pay a lot of attention to the historical value and legacy value of things like this. Me, I already know I'm a Taurus. And if it was a bad breakup, no, hell, screw you. Seriously, because here's the thing. I'm going to tell you what. There's two ways I could look at something. I could look at it, like I said, the overall legacy of the game, because that's really what is helping to look for, the game. Or I go giving a damn about my accolades. I got enough accolades. People already saying I'm the GOAT. I'm the guy to beat. I had a stellar career, best of all time. I could do two of these to New England Patriots.
And England.
and England. And the Queen. And be like, but again, it depends on what you care about. Because we all know for 7 years, all Jordan cared about was Jordan. Mm-hmm. It wasn't until 7 to 8 seasons later, Jordan said, okay, I guess I ain't gonna be nothing if I don't grab a chip. And then he started to convert, if you will, and trust the process and go through the motions to go and get this role player, this sharpshooter, stack up on the big guys. I'm coming out the East. Everybody got big guys, and he started to do that, the fundamental thinking part of the game. So that's what it's going to come down with Brady. Did they disrespect Brady enough for him to say, "Screw your legacy. I'm good"?
Okay, all right. Michael Sean, what's your take on, should Tom Brady retire a New England Patriot, come back, sign that one-day contract, or should he retire a New England Patriot?
The minute Tom Brady won a Super Bowl in a Tampa Bay Buccaneer uniform, his legacy was certified. When people say there's no player bigger than the game, that's a lie. That's a lie. Muhammad Ali was bigger than the game. Okay, he was bigger than the game. For whatever you want to say, and y'all know I'm a LeBron, Jordan was bigger than the game. He just was. He was bigger than the game. And that's where Tom Brady's legacy is bigger than the Patriots. He's Tom effing Brady forever. He's the GOAT forever. And I don't care what nobody says. There is a beef between Tom Brady and Bill Belichick that we will never know until 10 years from now when somebody writes a book and writes a tell-all or does a movie on Netflix called Tom and Bill or something, where we find out how much Tom despises Bill Belichick on how he treated him. Bill Belichick, let's remember, specifically didn't get Tom Brady any help at the end of his career. And I don't care what nobody says, he tried to sabotage Tom Brady. They didn't go out of free agency to get any receivers. They did, but a year after he was gone and they had Matt for a year, Mac Jones for a year, they went out and spent money on wide receivers. That's not coincidental, yo. I'm not going back and sign with y'all. All y'all do, I'm doing you a favor by
Right.
signing with you. I'm doing you a favor with your fan base, so all the Boston fans and Massachusetts fans can be like, "Yeah, we got Tom Brady back. We got
Right.
him back." No, you don't get that. You don't get
That's
none of
yeah.
that.
That's like,
No.
you know what? I always go to a wedding. You ever get those calls, Mike, from a young lady you may know, be like, "Hey, can you come with me to this wedding?" You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know these people.
I don't know these people.
I don't know these people. I'm just going, is there an open bar? I'm not going to help you.
Seeing his open
That's
bar.
all it is. And it could be a wedding. It could be a family reunion. And they riding off of you. They bringing
Right.
you so that
Right.
you can uplift whatever they got
I'm
going.
going to make it look good. Right. Right.
Yeah. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. No.
All right, so let me ask you this, because I want to jump into the NBA real fast. But the ESPN said today is 2/3/23. You know, they call it Michael Jordan Day. I was like, you know, that's pretty cool. I like that it's Michael Jordan Day. We're gonna come back to the NFL in a second. So since it's Michael Jordan Day, real fast, I was like, you know what? What are my top 5 Michael Jordan moments? Let me give you my top 5 Michael Jordan moments. But T, give me your top 5 Michael Jordan moments to you. To you. Now, of course,
first of all,
everybody's gonna be different when they're Michael Jordan moments. You know what I mean? So
all of mine ain't got nothing to do with basketball.
Me either.
I was laughing when I was coming. I was laughing because I was like, they so technically don't have, because people were thinking, oh, when he dunked on that, when he that. No. I'm gonna go 5-1. Number 5. First of all, Mike, when he won championships, especially the first one, best reaction with the trophy, best crying, and I think everybody who won chips after Mike tried to emulate or top his emotional what he brought to that. Am I lying?
That's
Those
facts.
moments,
That's facts.
yo, I could just stare at that moment, bro, and just watch him hugging the joint, crying, sweating. They pouring the champagne drip down his head. That's number 5. His championship win, first championship win, his moment. Number 4, his last contracts. I love what he did. The moment where he made the decision of, because remember, he won 3 chips back to back. Krause over there was being an ass, right? Mm-hmm. And Krause, all Mike wanted to do, he's wanted $100 million. Now, he was going to do $100 million for 5 or 6 years. Krause wouldn't give him $100 million. He wouldn't do the contract. So it was this standoff going on. The best thing Mike did was Mike said, okay, give me 33.3 1 year. And he did that 3 consecutive years, got 3 more chips, and got the 100 the hard way. That's amazing. That's amazing. I'm never going to forget that. That's the best business in basketball I've ever seen, hands down. It ain't about the number. It's about the principle. He made a point with that. Number 3, this is probably the only one that got something to do with basketball. When he played with the flu. Mm-hmm. He only had about 17 points, I believe. I mean, I could be corrected. I want to guess and say 17. But he set the tone of heart in basketball in that moment. Because he could have easily said, I'm Michael Jordan. I don't feel good. Deal with it. He went out there. When your key player does what he did, he leaves no room for excuses for the other 11, 12 people for anything.
Yeah, but come to find out, T, he was poisoned too. So that makes it point even more.
That's even worse, poison.
Yeah.
The only way he could have beat that is if you quantum leap him up to now and he played with Kobe.
Right. That's true. Because he was food poisoned the night before by the home team.
Ain't that crazy? Yeah, so number 2, a famous interview. Mike said something that moved me. And keep in mind, all these things are going on when I'm totally not a Mike fan. But Mike did an interview. Now, number 2 it was moving for me because I'm one of those guys that believe no matter how good you are, God is always greater, and you got to humble yourself in the presence of the overall scheme of things. And he did an interview, and they would you know, every time Mike does an interview, they try to force him into saying that he's the best. Oh, they say you the best. You believe you the best. Blah 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 blah. And Mike, I remember the first time hearing Mike say, I really can't call myself the best because I didn't play with everybody that would be in that argument of who could be the best. And that was the most simple, but yet humble, but yet smartest answer you could have gave. Like, I know I'm probably the best right this minute. He said, but of all time, I can't because I didn't play with this guy. I didn't play against Will. I didn't dunk on Will. I didn't dunk on Kareem. You know what I mean? So that made sense. That's my number 2. But my number 1 is disrespectful, but it's New York. The number 1 Michael Jordan moment, best of all time, was when Stark dunked on him. AKA titled The Dunk.
The dunk. I got the poster.
I got it right here. I got the poster. The number 1 Michael Jordan moment, because that's how it showed how big he is. As big as that dunk was, it still elevated Stark's stock, if you will. It brought Starks through the roof. John Starks was forever synonymous with the New York Knicks. However, as big as that was, you still can't diminish this icon. Number 1 moment.
I like that. I like your 5. Okay, Mike, give me your 5.
Similar to talent, a lot of mine have nothing to do with basketball. That means you're bigger than the game when it has nothing to do with basketball. Just to repeat that. Number 5, quickly, baseball, because I finally saw him do something that he wasn't good at. That's how good he was at it. And he wasn't even horrible at baseball. I mean, on the standard of just jumping into the minor leagues, he wasn't horrible. But on the standard of Michael Jordan, first of all, he looked awkward as hell. It looked crazy. He just looked too tall to be in the outfield. He looked too tall to be in the batter's box. Everything was just long and crazy, and I was happy. I was happy, but it was gangster. It was gangster for him just to leave and say, I'm just going to play baseball. Number 4, quickly, when he went to party in Atlantic City before a playoff game, when he was in AC, what is the point? And I'm not dissing him for this. This is all gangster stuff right here. What is the point of being Michael Jordan if you can't do what you feel like doing? If I feel like catching a limo to AC and then come back at 3, 4 in the morning and probably have an intimate session with somebody in a hotel room, and I'm sure there was liquor involved, and still win the game, y'all want to critique me and I still win the game? I don't even get it. Number 3, and I give him credit, this has to do with basketball. The game against the Knicks, we all know we're Knicks fans here, me and Talent. When he stepped to Xavier McDaniels.
Ooh.
Xavier was bullying the hell out of Scotty. And Mike said, you know what? Enough's enough. And they did the forehead to forehead. And Mike said, F you, multiple times. He wanted every bit of the smoke. We didn't say the smoke back then, but he wanted he wanted to inhale all the smoke with Xavier McDaniels, and they went on to win.
That's facts.
Another one is his divorce was the most gangster thing. When he got divorced, this is when you know you're doing it. His wife took him for a legendary amount of money, and it didn't faze him financially one bit. I forget what joke I had of the $100 million that Juanita got, and $100 million back then was like $1 billion now. Taking $100 million from somebody, from an athlete, normally crippled them. It did nothing to Mike. Nothing. He just went on and continued going on. And then my last one was that documentary, The Last Dance. This is all gangster stuff.
Yeah.
He saw the LeBron thing going, and he said,
right.
I just want to remind everybody how important. Let me remind you. I just want everybody.
Let me remind you.
In the words of Roy Jones, y'all must have forgot. Just in case y'all forgot, I'm going to take days of your life up. And you're going to set your days
number one.
to watch. That's my number 1, The Last Dance.
Hey, can I add one, Frank? I want to add.
That's a good one.
I just want to add one honorable mention. Last year when he felt Mary J. Blige ass.
Oh, we got
that was a great moment.
Honorable mention.
That's a great moment.
Dog, he did the dirty uncle. He did the dirty uncle at the barbecue.
Yo, I remember, God rest his day, I remember my uncle did that shit to my son's mother, and she was like, "Can I talk to you?" I think your uncle touched my ass. I said, "What?" No, he's helping people up the steps and just felt a cuff. I said, "Well, maybe you just help me." No. I couldn't even say nothing to my uncle. I say, cut it out. So what up? Just cut it out. Do that shit right there. I
You know
can't
exactly
beat
what
this,
I'm
man.
talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking
I
about.
can't beat this, man. I'm just gonna leave it right there. I can't let it escalate, but I gotta say something.
Listen, I should have had my 5 go first because my 5 is worse. My 5 is worse. Yeah. y'all 5 was really good. Y'all 5
No,
was
somebody got to bring basketball perspective, Frank. Go ahead.
all right. In no particular order.
First of all, we horrible. Our shit was all everything but basketball.
Yeah, but it's good. One of mine was winning the slam dunk competition, and I said that because he really didn't win the slam dunk competition. That year he won against Dominic Wilkins.
Yeah, he didn't win that.
He didn't win
Yeah,
that.
you can't do the same dunk twice. You can't do the same dunk.
Yeah. So to me, that one was that should have been to obviously what's his name, Dominic Wilkins. The other one I had was when he lost to Penny Hardaway. Everybody keeps breezing over that to the time when he lost to Penny Hardaway. When he came back mid-season. They played against Orlando Magic and Shaq and Penny Hardaway and Shaq and everything else. You know, and he wasn't really fully back yet, but he came through mid-season and he lost to Penny Hardaway. I like that one. The other one obviously was winning his first title because what you said, going on the thing with the I love that. But to me, the slam dunk on the Knicks that he did with the Patrick Ewing thing, where he did the fake and he did it.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
That was first of all, Frank. You know we left that shit out on purpose.
Of course,
I added it on purpose.
You're very disrespectful when you want to be. Go ahead.
You know I did that on purpose. But to me, my number one thing, Michael Jordan moment was scoring 63 points against the Boston Celtics because Michael Jordan gave me tickets to that game. So that's my number one moment of all time. So
Michael Jordan, what?
Here's the thing. Let's be real. Like that, go back to that championship crying thing, that emotion. Who didn't feel that? Like when that was happening, dude, I felt like, and this is through the TV. I felt like I was there.
Yeah.
And I could feel like what he was felt like. You felt for him. I wasn't even a Michael fan. I'm on one of the teams that you keep knocking out of the way. Like you my rival. But in that moment, that's how hard you fought. You felt all 8 years when he got that. And I, you can't, I don't care how you feel about somebody. I was the same way with Kobe. You got to respect greatness.
No, you do. And let me tell you about the dunk on when Starks did. Let me just tell you how great Michael Jordan based on this. What is the one signature play that Allen Iverson did that we all remember?
Right, the step over.
With Jordan.
Yeah.
Because he did it. If you'd have done it to anybody, it's Jordan.
Yeah. Anybody else would have just been another quick highlight. Forget about it. Yeah, but it's Jordan.
The Starks dunk was really on Horace Grant. Mm-hmm. The fact that we got Jordan in the frame.
Yeah.
We just needed him to. He was just trying to help Horace Grant.
It don't matter.
And we were like,
if you under that deficit,
you got it. You got it.
That's 100%. That's one. Like you can't even deny that. You can't even deny it. So
as much as I argue with people, and I want to make this as much as I argue with people, do not in 1 minute take my words to mean that I don't think he's immortal when it comes to what he's done on the basketball court, dog. Like he's just. I watched NBC on Sunday when they had the league, when they had because the Bulls were playing. Well, no, because Michael Jordan was playing. Dog, do you know how mad I was? I tried to get tickets for years to get to the Garden to watch the Bulls. And I met the sports reporter, Dave Steele. He got me tickets before the season. He said, "You're going." Jordan retired. And I wound up having to watch Scottie Pippen get blown out by the Knicks at the Garden. But so I watched him twice in person. Dog, he's one of the most amazing. But now, I want to say this about Talent. Talent says they make up stuff. They made up stats for LeBron, which is hilarious. They made up the records that he broke. Y'all motherfuckers made up a holiday? Mm-mm. Y'all made up a holiday for Jordan?
But look at it, Mike. It makes sense. 2-3, 2-3.
No, it makes sense. But this happened because there's a 2-week layoff between now and the Super Bowl. So they were like, yo.
Yeah,
whoever created this is a genius, but they made up a holiday. But I'm Jehovah's Witness. I'm not supporting. All
right, so we want to talk about LeBron in a second. Let's talk about LeBron. Well, actually, let's talk about LeBron right now, man. He scored. He's how many points away from Kareem. He helped. Obviously,
89, ain't? Oh, well, he scored more now, right?
yeah, I think he's. I
Last
think
night.
yeah, I think he's literally like 60 something points away. But
Yeah.
here's the point that I want to bring up. They beat the Pacers last night by 1 point and everything else. They came back, they beat it. So I was like, you know what? Since we talk about top 5 Michael Jordan moments, T, you got top 5 LeBron James moments that you could just rattle off the top of your head, or top 3 LeBron James moments? Well, you ain't got to give me 5, but how many you could think of off the top of your head real fast? Because obviously LeBron is closing in on the record, and he's gonna have his own day too. You know what I mean? He's gonna have his own day too. We all gonna be talking about him when he's done in career. But if we had to say something right now, what would your top 5 LeBron James moments be?
Well, top 5 LeBron, first of all, and not a good moment, but a moment, is the whole having people hang on the thread to see where he was going when he was a free agent.
Yeah.
What did they called it? The choice, the decision?
The decision. I love that day. I really thought that was dope.
The decision, well, I can understand, you're a LeBron fan. I can understand how the people like it, but I can understand, like, for me, a fan of the game who is heavy on competition and competitiveness, I just thought it was a cheat sheet to where he went and who went along with the big 3 and all that. So that would be right there as number 1. Number 2, I think I like back to an interview. Because to me, it counts just as much what you do off the court than on the court. And when he did the interview, him and KD both get the same credit for this. And they talked about their mom and the significance of mom and the upbringing and not the dad and where he came from and everything. And he owned all that stuff right there. That was big. That was super big. Like, because we don't get a lot of that. Like people mention like their moms in passing these days. So I want to thank God, my mom, blah, 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 and they keep talking. So when you get somebody that spends time in an interview, like trying to paint the picture of their love for their parent, that without them, I couldn't have been able to do all these things and go the route I did. I thought that was a big thing. That's number 2 for me. Number 3, obviously, the Cleveland game when they won the championship. I know Kyrie, was the big shot hit or whatever, but that game, LeBron was every bit of what we was told he was, coming into the hype of the league and all that. Number 3, obviously, number 4, obviously, would have to be, before he got into the league, the signing of the Nike contract.
Mm-hmm.
I cursed these Negroes out for I don't know how long. I never forget, even comedian Hamburger, shout out to Hamburger. It took years, me and Hamburger arguing back and forth, because they kept calling LeBron great before he had a chance to be great and to play the role and show you he's great. And I was like, dude, you can't call somebody great and he did nothing yet. No, but Nike gave him $90 million. But he hasn't touched the basketball on the professional court yet. You got to make your way. You know what I'm saying? That was a big, like a boulder in the pond. You skip little rocks, make ripples. That was a boulder in the pond. And number 5, last but not least, with LeBron, I would say it has to be on the Lakers when Kobe passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I think he handled that as classy as your star could. I know a lot of, first of all, you're lucky. Understand, when they pick you to be the face of the league, don't think there's not a vetting going on. You got to make sure you're articulate, make sure you're smart, blah, blah, blah. What kind of skirmishes this guy get into? What's his family structure? You know what I mean? They're not just going to jump out there and they're like Jerry Jones. They're going to make that decision last. They're going to stretch it out. When they gave him the microphone to honor Kobe at that big ceremony in LA. That sealed the deal with me having respect for him as a man and a different type of love and admiration as a man in this game. So salute and kudos to LeBron James.
Okay, I like your 5. I will say this: when you talk about his mom, I thought you were going to talk about the time when dude was messing with his mom on the same team.
You're such a horrible individual, bro.
Well,
the same dude who was smashing his mom is the dude they found under the underpass, homeless with the squeegee.
I know, but I thought
his mother has horrible taste.
I thought that's what you were talking about. I'm not even trying to be funny. I thought that's what you were talking about.
First of all, his mother's not a nice lady. Shouldn't she have taken that guy in?
For a little while till you get back on his feet.
Once you give him some nookie, come on, lady.
Oh my goodness. Michael Sean, what's your top five?
That is
I used to
ridiculous.
be all up through this house. I can't stay here for a little while.
What's your top five, Michael?
My Wi-Fi still connects on my phone every time I walk by. Like it just bloop, it just goes right on.
I can't stay here for a little while, lady.
Just for a second. Like I know where the Pop Tarts are at and everything. You know what's funny about LeBron? The more I thought about it, I was trying to think of stuff that has nothing to do with basketball. I don't know how LeBron has done this. I don't know what Illuminati meeting he went to. But we know more about Michael Jordan's personal life than we know about LeBron off the court. And I don't know how he pulled that off. I don't know how he was able to keep all these situations at bay when the media and social media is all over the place. I don't know, but I'll give the first one is his game against the Detroit Pistons when he scored, I think, the last 27 points of the game. I actually saw that game, and I couldn't believe then he capped it off with dunking on Rasheed Wallace. And that was literally when he was coming down the court, and there was nobody to pass to. He just took it upon himself every time, pick and roll, pick and roll, pick and roll, and let's see what I'm going to do. The victory against the Celtics, when the Celtics claimed they were his kryptonite, when the Celtics were like, when Kevin Garnett and them boys were like, yeah, we got him, we broke him. No, you didn't. No, I know the last game before he did the decision was against the Celtics, but do you see the starting five he had to play with against y'all? And when he got a squad, it was over. It was over for Paul Pierce and them boys. I think the block caught me off guard against Golden State. I think that's obviously one of his highlight moments, which is crazy that it's a defensive play. I didn't see that coming, and neither did Andre Iguodala. I just saw Iguodala was about to have a layup, and I forget how much they would have been up by, and LeBron came and made one of the greatest plays I've ever seen in my life. Like, I've never seen that. Now, the other highlight that I have is the game with J.R. Smith got the rebound and actually ran the clock out. To me, that's a highlight because I've never seen him almost – it's like he wanted to punch a teammate. Mm-hmm. And he kept pointing at the clock. After the play was over, they got the thing where he's pointing. He's looking at JR, pointed, and he's pointing at the scoreboard, and you can imagine what he's saying to him. And that's not a victory. They obviously lost in overtime. And the championship against Golden State, down 3-1. I think that was – I thought that was a wrap. I can be a LeBron fan all I want. When they were down 3-1, I said game, set, match is over. Even when Draymond Green got suspended. Mm-hmm. I said there's no way they're going to Golden State and win game 7, even with the Draymond Green. So those are my lists with LeBron. And the how he handled the stuff with his mom, I thought was amazing too. Because there's no way you could have kept me from not getting in front of a microphone.
I like that. I think my top 5 is one of, well, I don't even know if I have 5. I think one of them is setting up the I Promise school. He's paying, the parents' rent and making sure the kids eat. You know what I mean? I think that's definitely number 1 for me. And leaving Cleveland, that's 2. Winning at Cleveland, that's 3. 4 for me would be the thing that you just said. Like, that was definitely on my list, Mike, when he was mad at JR, because JR was literally could have just laid it up and they would have won that game. I think that's.
And I felt bad for JR because I know JR just didn't know what was going on. I think I really felt bad for JR.
How you not know at the end of the game?
You know how much weed and liquor is in this man's system at all times, dog.
Yeah, how you not know? And I think my last one was definitely the decision. I absolutely hated that, man. I hated it.
Word the mother.
I hated that. That was like exploiting black players. All right, let's get back into the NBA, man. Cleveland Cavaliers, Donovan Mitchell, and Memphis Grizzlies, Dillon Brooks got ejected after a scuffle last night. The Cavs won 126-113. The reason why I'm bringing it up is because the NBA, I read on NBA.com this morning, the NBA is thinking about suspending these guys for a couple of games. And being where Cleveland's at right now, if Donovan Mitchell's not playing and he gets suspended for a couple of games, it's going to lower them in the pecking order because they're going to obviously lose. And they're in a fight with the Bucks and the Celtics trying to keep pace with, obviously for the playoffs land and everything else. So I don't know what you guys think about the scuffle. What's your thoughts on if it's going to happen if Donovan Mitchell and Dillon Brooks get suspended? What's your take on this, T?
Well, I think they both got to get suspended. Even though I think that the hit, depending on what angle camera you're looking at, it looks inadvertent. like a flaring of the arms, after the fact. But for the fact that he slammed that other dude down that worked for the organization,
Yeah.
you need to suspend it. This poor guy coming in trying to break up the fight. First of all, I handed my letter of resignation after that. I didn't come here for that. Poor guy probably got a job like drying towels. He come over like, no, don't do it. And when he grabbed him and he went down, I said, that's where the game changed. But if you're coming, I understand both sides. If you're coming from Donovan's side, you can't tell it's inadvertent if it is. I'm standing there, you roll back on my foot so a person's there. And then it's like, to me, it feels like you just said bong and my nuts. And I think they should suspend them on the amount of nuts involved in the melee. 6 nuts that we know of. The rolling guy, the guy that got hit, and again, they got the war towel guy got thrown down too. That's 6 testicles. So everybody should be out 6 weeks.
All right, 6. What's your take on this, Mike Shaw?
Clearly, this is why they don't have me working there.
But when you have the suspensions by the testicles,
that's why they don't hire me.
They keep running back the tape. Run back the tape. Was that 2? Was that 2? I think he obviously caught 2 right there. Jesus. First of all, I don't know what angles you saw. There's an angle where he's down and Dylan takes a little glimpse and he knows exactly where Donovan Mitchell is. He goes like this. Then he swings the arm. I don't know what it is about these dudes in the NBA, but there have been multiple dudes who have gone for people's nuts in the NBA. And I've never thought that was he did that on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, they're going to suspend both players. But if you really want to be fair, if you just look at the angle, dog, he literally took a little glimpse and said, oh, he's there, and swang his arm back. In my league, Donovan Mitchell, how about this? In my league, I would sit them 2 down and say, y'all fight right now in this room and then get it out your system. But this Brooks dude has been involved. He's the one that was involved in the skirmish with Shannon Sharp, too, in L.A. Like, he was that guy. He's getting a little reputation now. In my league, I wouldn't suspend Donovan Mitchell, but they're both going to have to get suspended because that's what it is. You get, if you don't suspend them both, then the other team is going to have a protest and they're going to go to the players union and all that other stuff. So you got to suspend them both. I don't think it should be too dramatic. They didn't go. It wasn't Detroit. It wasn't the brawl, the Malice in the Palace. It was really like, that's a heavy fight in the league right now. In the 90s, they would have still stayed in the game in the 90s. But, they'll get suspended for a game or 2.
John Morant, Joel Embiid, they made headlines. They're the NBA All-Star reserves. There's somebody's name who got upset about this, who wasn't named as a starter or reserve, and it was James Harden. He's not a starter or reserve. He's averaging 22 points a game. Everything else, he's averaging 6 assists, everything else, and he ain't even an All-Star reserve. What's your take on? And he literally said that on social media post, the amount of disrespect.
Oh my God,
it's hilarious. What's your take on this?
Well, first of all, there's a bigger thing we're missing here. There's a bigger travesty going on. Clearly, by now, James Harden should have been the face and the logo on all of the paper towels, either Brawny or Bounty. That lumberjack guy with the beard. Yeah. That's Harden. That's his job. He should be the new guy on that. I'll be more upset about that. Bruh, you have delegated downward to your little 22 points a game. If we go back 6, 7 seasons, you top 5, maybe top 10, top 5. You're not that guy anymore. There's a lot of guys that are fresh bait out here that are balling through the roof. So I understand you a little upset. You get your 22 a game, and hey guys, you're overlooking me. Okay, well, if we're just now getting to Embiid, what the hell make you think we would be at you? Does he think he's bigger than Embiid right now?
You make a good point, but T, you don't think James Harden should be at least in the All-Star reserves?
Nah.
Okay.
I don't even think he should be in the military.
Such a stupid.
I don't trust this Negro stacking sandbags in case the water comes over the leaves.
Wow. That's low. That's low. Michael Shaw, the NBA All-Star things were announced. We were upset last week because Joel Embiid should be a starter. He ain't a starter. Then news comes out that his teammate ain't even in an All-Star game reserves, bro. What's your take on this?
Well, the players got something to do with this voting, right?
The players got something to do with the voter for the first round, the coaches for the second round, and then and the fans. So
right.
yeah.
I can't top talent. If Embiid wasn't a starter and he's putting up monster numbers, first of all, why are you even worried about the All-Star game, Harden? Why you won an MVP? Your job right now with the Sixers, you were brought there to do one thing: get them a championship. And you worried about the All-Star game. Like the All-Star, you've been to the All-Star game. Like, I get it. Would I put him in? Certainly I would have put him in. But that should not be his focus right now. His focus should be, how can I win a championship? When I put that on my resume, you put Harden in a whole different room then if he gets a championship. You're still worried about a little All-Star game. Dog, keep it moving. Like, your numbers, listen, he's playing the point guard position at a high level right now. If you ask me, he's probably, as a point guard, a real point guard, I put him 1 or 2 right now as somebody I'd want to run my team. 21 points a game, 6 rebounds, and 11 assists. Like, he should be in the game, but it shouldn't be your focus. Matter of fact, you should want to take this time off to rest, chill out. The game isn't the game in Utah?
Yeah.
Who the hell wants to go to Utah? You should be happy that you ain't got to go to Utah. Just refocus, get back to what you got to do. Because I really think watching the Sixers just about every night or every other night, this team got a shot. They got a shot to beat to come out the East.
Okay. All right. Other news came out while I was away a couple of days ago. The Phoenix Suns are having serious conversations about trading Jay Crowder, who we've been talking about, and Cameron Payne, who I didn't know if they were thinking about trading, to the Lakers for Patrick Beverly. So the Suns, especially when I was on the West Coast, I heard this a lot on sports radio and everything else. So T, what you think about James Crowder and Cameron Payne to the Lakers for Patrick Beverly?
That's good for the Lakers.
Yeah.
That's real good for the Lakers. I hate to say it, man. The difference a day makes, man. I think like months ago, we was all happy with Patrick Beverly. Now, doing too much. Here's the thing. Patrick Beverly's doing too much and not doing enough. Does that make sense? He's doing too much, but not doing enough team-wise. So that's great for the Lakers. I say jump on that while it's on sale. You take too long to think about that, it's going to change. Jump on that. That's a tag sale for the Lakers. I'm all for that. If I'm a Laker fan, hurry up. Let's get this done.
Okay. Let me do Mike Sean with another question. Will Phoenix move on from Chris Paul? Because again, February 9th is 6 days away. These names are popping up. Will Phoenix move on for Chris Paul?
Not this year. I don't think they'll move on from this year. I think they'll stay pat and wait for Devin Booker to get back off the injury and see where they can go this year. I don't understand Phoenix. It's like, I get that they have to sell the team. I know the owner got into a whole bunch of problems, and there's something weird with Phoenix right now. There's really something going on in Phoenix that I don't get.
I get it. Right. I agree.
Yeah, for a team that we all sat here the last few years and said, they're the team, that they're the future. Like, it's coming. They got to go to the chip. They're going to win a chip. To now, it just seems discombobulated. Like, there seems like there's a lot of stuff going on in that locker room. Monty Williams got beef with, what's his name? The big man?
The center, yeah.
The center, Aiden. He's yelling at him. Yeah. He's yelling at him during timeouts. There's stuff all of Monty Williams out his character. I don't know, though. I like Phoenix has got something going on, and I think this could be. I think bigger than that. They better hope that they can keep Devin Booker. Yeah, they better focus on keeping Devin Booker, and keeping Devin Booker means you probably got to keep Chris Paul.
Yeah, Devin Booker's probably out. T, will Zach LaVine get traded from the Bulls to the Knicks? That's another hot topic.
Zach LaVine from the Bulls to the Knicks.
And would you like to see it?
I'm one of the few dudes who ain't crazy on LaVine, but I feel like this. I don't care what name you bring up with the Knicks trade. I feel like I think me and Mike both said this in the past weeks. We just don't want to give up a lot for nobody. We want something to complement what we got going on, but what is it going to cost us? We don't want to go revisiting Quantum Leap back to a Carmelo situation. So depending on who it is, we have enough disposable guys on that bench and in that roster that we can make a deal work. So I wouldn't frown on Levine. I'm not a big Levine fan, but he's decent enough to add on to what we're doing. So I'm not against it. It's not. I got that in between feeling. You know what I mean?
Okay, so Michael Sean, I'm looking at the time. James Wiseman is expected to be moved by Golden State. Good move or bad move? And where do you think he'll get moved to?
I might regret the insignificant move. I don't think it. I don't think.
I might regret
it. I might regret this because somebody might give him. He might go somewhere, and somebody might actually get him to unveil the talent that we think he has. But
interesting.
He's so when you got these guys that are so young and so athletic, and you just got to wait for them to mature as human beings. If you get rid of them too fast, and Golden State must be done. Golden State must be finished. They're like, we're gonna move and set. But what are they gonna get for him? I don't know what you get for him. And some team, I don't want to. Oh, you don't want to let that team grab a hold of James Wiseman, and 4 years from now he's in an All-Star game, and he's a prominent player, frontline player, and somebody uses his athletic ability and somebody puts him in the right situation. But I think it's insignificant at this point. I think they're just. That's why they haven't traded him already, because nobody's going to give anything up for him. You're not giving up draft picks.
Right. Let him land on the Celtics right now. They need that length. You know, they need another person. He'd be a good fit. Luka Doncic leads the Mavs win last night with a bruised heel. They won over the Pelicans. The Pelicans ended up calling out the refs because they felt the officials made a pair of late mistakes. The officials came out and said, yeah, we did make late mistakes. Now there's a lot of turmoil going on with Dallas, and there's a lot of turmoil going on with the Pelicans. What do you think about the Pelicans and the Mavs right now? And do you think either is going to make a trade? Because if you had to ask me right now, I think the Mavs are still reeling from letting go of Brunson. And I think the Pelicans are still upset about right now. What's his name being hurt? So
yeah, I mean you're right about both things. Back on the calls and bad calls and missed calls. I don't know where we get the perception or the idea or notion that you're ever going to have perfect basketball. It's just not going to happen. And we keep nitpicking these games, this, that, third. The refs are human beings with a human eye, and the replay clock at certain times of the games where they're doing the best they can out there. Not speaking on the guys who might be gambling and stuff like that, but the real refs are with the human eye trying to see it and call it and, be refs. And then you get down to that clock ticking where you can challenge and they got to look at it and all that type of stuff. You implemented all these things in the game to cut down so it's not out of control, but it's never going to be perfect. Great. I don't care what kind of artificial intelligence you apply. It's just not going to be a perfect game. You're right. Pelicans, they had a glimpse of looking good, and then the unthinkable, well, not even, I can't say unthinkable. The thinkable happened. He got hurt again, right? So now they're reeling from that. And then, of course, you look at Dallas. I think most likely Dallas would make that move because you're right. They have a hole. It's one thing to have an injured person mean he will be back, hopefully. Losing a person to another team, he ain't come back.
Very, very.
You gotta fix that, glue that hole, patch it up, whatever. So I think they're more likely to make a bigger move, Dallas Mavericks.
Okay, so he said Dallas Mavericks make a bigger move. Another move that nobody expects to happen is the Portland Trail Blazers look like they standing pat. Do you think Dame is going to re-sign again? Because he got a couple more years to stay there and everything else. You think they're going to try to trade him? What do you think the Dame Dillard situation is going to happen over at Portland? Or is it just going to be dead? What you think, Mike?
I think Dame is living a good life. And, sometimes, you can do two things. You can, one, be a great basketball player, rock for your home team, and give it all you got and not care about what the media makes you do. But the dude must be happy in Portland. He must be extremely happy in Portland. And he's like, I'm not trying to switch this up because everybody wants me to win a championship over there, over here. And God bless him. If that's how he feels, then stay right there and chill. But Don't wait too long. Because you know how every man will say this. Every human being will say this. I don't care.
It's crazy.
I don't care. I'm happy. We'll all say, I don't care. They be like, I don't care if I never made it in Hollywood. I'm not moving out there. I don't care and then all of a sudden click one day, you go like, damn, I did care.
I like the way Mike said, well, God, if he's happy, God bless him.
God bless him.
But.
And I say but because
how you say but after God?
I know. That was terrible. That was to say but after God. But
like, I gotta rob this bank. Time hard. Don't do that. Are you crazy? God got this. Give God the wheel.
But
if you really need that money.
No, I say this because I should have left God out of it. But the reason why I say but, if your mind changes, don't wait till you out your prime. Like these are your prime years, Dave.
Do you understand when no one says God bless you like a Hispanic, which really you feel it in your soul when a Hispanic look you in your eyes and go, God bless you, young man. You be like, yo, word. And they go, but. What?
Oh, but guys do it all the time. Like if a female comes up to you, right, and she says she's pregnant, you be like, look, I'm going to be there for you. I'm going to help raise this kid with you. I'll be there every step of the way. We are going to co-parent. But if you're not ready for this,
I'm cool with that too.
I'm cool with that too.
Yo, that's the funniest thing of the day, yo. God bless him. What?
This child is going to be a blessing.
You got me so good on that because every time Dame's name come up on the show, Mike, like, get out of there. Get the hell out of Portland. Go get a chip. You ain't going to get it there. You stupid. You stupid. Today, he pulled me in. I'm like, Mike had an epiphany. Mike said, no, Dame is very happy where he is. You know what? And if he's happy, God bless him. I'm all in it. I'm Little House on the Prairie at this point. And then there was this pause, and he went, but. It almost, you know what's coming next? Translation. But God ain't everything, young man.
That's why I can't be one of Dane's boys. Because I'd be out in Portland like, no, you're right. You're right. This is nice. Like, he takes you out on the town. You're like, this is great. Like, the restaurants are underrated. Like, the women out here are beautiful. Like, the air is clean. But
have you ever eaten in the garden?
Have you ever seen Broadway on a summer night at night?
Oh my goodness!
But in all seriousness, I just don't want Dame to change his mind and he's out his prime and he can no longer do the things that he can do. So then he goes to a team that has superstars, and then we all go like, "But you ain't the same dude no more." Like this, he gotta make a decision within the next, I say 2-3 years, to whether he's gonna stay there for life. Because he's gonna stay there for life.
He might feel different. He might feel different in 2-3 years for one. For two, here's the thing that's on his side with time-wise, Mike. The game is different. So because the way they put these teams together now and everybody's manufacturing the way they want it to be, I think even a little bit past prime Dame could still get a chip the way they put the teams together. He could go play a role, and let's say, like, because one thing we know to be, players, for the most part, an 80-90 percentile, their jumper gets better in the latter part of their career, right? Mm-hmm. So the ones who already got a jump shot early, they're going to be fine.
That's a good point. I mean, that's a good point. Ray Allen did it. Passes.
They're going to be fine. You just give me a job to do. I'm your sharpshooter. I don't have to create, like, all the stuff that Dame's doing now, he got to do. But in his latter part of his career, let's say that the next super team is Boston again. And he feel like, oh, I'm going to go link up with, they got two big dudes over there doing it. I go over there, become a sharpshooter, add to it. Chip.
And I'm just going to say this in closing. He better not go to the Pelicans. Like, after all that, be like, I'm going to go to the Pelicans.
But, Mike, if he does, God bless him.
God bless him. If you want to go to the Pelicans.
But
y'all, thank you all for making the show funny again. I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate it. I can only imagine what I missed while I was gone. Pete, tell everybody out there how they can follow you. What's going down this weekend?
Hey, listen, this is the weekend, baby. First of all, happy weekend to everybody. Have a blessed one. Be safe. All roads lead to Boston on Sunday night. We up there. Chocolate Centers are going to be making it happen again. My man Kenny Williams and I coming from New York to make it happen. Big Mo will be in the building. Many other comedians, of course. Humor Mill putting it on. It's our second one. People spread the word. Get the people out. Let them know we in town. Putting it down. It's going to be a big night too, Frank. A lot going on. We got the wind chill factor. We got the Grammys.
Yeah,
the Grammys might not happen. They might be frozen.
And the Grammy, yeah, that's true. But it's going to be warmer in Boston on Sunday night. You know, we going through a freeze right now. It's going to be 45 degrees on Sunday, which is going to probably feel like 60. You know what I mean? Because right now it's freezing. Right.
Yeah, that's the same. We're getting the same thing here.
Yeah, it's freezing.
But follow me on social media, Instagram, Talent the Comedian, y'all.
My man Mike Sean, tell everybody out there how they can follow you, bro.
Follow me at Mike Sean Comedy, the morning show every morning. Go to YouTube, Media Room 360. If you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, make sure you tune into CW 33, 1230, the Michael Sean Show. Debuts this Saturday, 12:30 each Saturday. After that, each and every Saturday. And then I got a birthday bash coming up. And but that's not till March. But that's it. That's it. Follow me. Thanks,
Rodney Perry, for, I don't know if you're not watching this or not. Thanks, Rodney Perry, for holding it down. I heard he did a good job, so everybody was like that. That was very funny. Thank you all for watching and supporting the show. The show's going to come on again and repeat at 7 and 11. We'll be back Monday. You know, we're trying to start also for this, you know, the Super Bowl is a great thing. We're going to hit you back up with some NFL on Monday. We're going to talk more about NBA. Of course, a little bit of baseball's happening and all that stuff. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for supporting. We appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all. Peace.